Okay, so for example 3, it says that the jet is flying through a wind that's blowing with a speed of 55 miles per hour in the direction north 30 degrees of east. The jet has a speed of 765 relative to the air, and the pilot heads the jet in the direction north 45 degrees east. For A, it says express the velocity of the wind as a vector in both component and vector form. Okay, so when this one says component, that's going to be in terms of I and J. Okay, so we're going to express the velocity of the wind. So first, if you guys even just want to draw a picture of the wind only, that would be perfectly fine. So you can start with your plane, and then the wind is blowing at a speed of 55 miles per hour in the direction north 30 degrees east. So that means I'm going to start going north, and then I'm going to adjust it 30 degrees to the east. Okay? Okay, so this is going to be my wind.
So theta is 60?
Exactly. Okay, so remember theta has to start at 0 and go to the vector. So because we have this 30 degrees here, we have to find theta, which is from 0 to the vector. So in this case, theta is going to be what? 60 degrees. Okay, and then our speed on this is going to be, for this one it is what? 55. Okay, so now we're going to express this in component form. So for the wind,
So 55 cosine of 60.
yep,
55 sine of 60.
yep, exactly.
Oh, Jake. You got it.
You got it.
Sorry, that sounded sarcastic and it wasn't meant for me.
Okay, and again, we are going to be using the decimals on this, so if you guys want to go ahead and use the decimals, that is perfectly fine. Now, when you're doing this, you want to make sure that your mode is in what? Degrees. Okay, because you're inputting degrees. So 55 cosine of 60. Okay, so this is going to be exactly 27.5, which I think I did this first. So 1/2, 55 root 3 over 2.
Should we draw the little box?
What's that?
The box.
Like to box
Just
it,
the
to
thing
box
that
in your
looks like
answer?
absolute value instead of the W.
Nope, because that's not going to be,
Oh, that's the magnitude.
yeah, that's not going to be the magnitude of that.
Inside of this.
Okay, and then did you guys get 47.63?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be your vector, and then in terms of I and J, 27.5I plus 47.63J. Okay, do you guys have questions for me on that?
Is that all we did?
So vector form is what the book is going to call this first form here with A and B. And then component form, if they just say component and vector, this is their component form. But then sometimes they'll say component with I and J. So if I want I and J, then I'll say that to you on a test or quiz. So you don't have to guess which one. For B, express the velocity of the jet. So for the jet, and again, if you guys want to draw your own picture, I like to draw mine. Well, and I know some of you guys like to use the head to tail method, so you'll be doing that anyway. Now, the jet is headed in north 45 degrees east, which is pretty nice because if it's 45 degrees, right? If it's 45 degrees and you're starting north and you adjust 45 degrees to the east, what is your theta value going to be?
45.
Yes. Now I want you to understand that theta is 45 because 90 minus 45 is 45. So it's not always going to be the same, it just happens to be the same because 45 is half of 90. So this is our jet, which I will call J, and the jet is traveling with 765. So 765 is going to be the magnitude, okay, of the jet. All right.
765 cosine
They're
45.
also
Mhm.
similar, I've never remembered.
Yeah, this is
What it is.
Yeah, so have you guys done similar
Oh, geez.
problems in physics? Have you guys done similar ones?
Yes, but we can
Yeah, we can
tackle
do-
it differently.
Oh.
With the, we don't do like the forms that we do, so we
Is this
still
on?
kind of learn that real quick.
Yes, it's on.
Is that gonna sound weird?
Okay,
Or
so
just to-
for J, this is going to be your vector form, and then component form with I and J.
They're the same answer. Because it's in the, it's, we're
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yep, exactly. So it's the same answer because think of the point at 45 degrees. At 45 degrees,
Does that mean that plane isn't moving?
no, it just means the horizontal component is the same as the vertical component.
Right there.
Okay?
Hovering.
Okay, so now for part C, we're going to find the true velocity of the jet as a vector. So just as a reminder, I'm going to write down that the true velocity is going to be the wind plus the jet. Okay, and there's a reason why I keep writing this down, and that's because that's what most people forget. Okay, because you have true velocity, you have true speed, it's easy to get mixed up. So notice that here it just asks for the velocity. Okay, here it asks for the velocity. Now it's asking for the true velocity, which is the addition of those two vectors.
I missed that one.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, wait, never mind. You kind of just answered what I was gonna ask. But in B, it says relative to the air. So does that just mean like without the air?
Right,
Okay.
without like the wind,
Okay,
yes.
so you're only gonna have them together when it says true.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so then we're just gonna add both horizontal components together. So again, you're getting this from adding the 27.5 plus the 540.94. When you add those two together, you're gonna get 568.44. And then we're also gonna add the other two components. Do you guys want me to just write where that comes from? The 27.5 plus 540.94. And this is the 47.63 plus 540.94. Okay, and then we'll write it in terms of I and J as well. So 568.44 I,
I keep writing this stupid lines on the side.
the lines on the side.
Yeah, that look like absolute value.
Oh, I
It's
gotcha.
Definitely not.
Right, so that won't be until part D. So for part D, it says find the true speed. So the true speed is gonna be when you do the magnitude. Okay, so we're gonna take the velocity, true velocity vector, and find the magnitude. And that's gonna give us the true speed. Okay, and I'll give you a moment to calculate that. Or did some of you already do it?
818.25.
Yep. Okay, good. Now it also says to find the direction of the jet. So whenever you're finding the direction, you're going to be using the tangent of theta equals b over a. Your b is going to be your vertical component. Your a is going to be your horizontal component. Okay, so it's the tangent of theta equals 588.57 over 568.44.
Inverse tangent.
Yup, so to find theta, we're going to use the inverse tangent.
How do you round that? Do you round it?
Do the tenths.
Oh yeah, so we're going to round to the tens place whenever we have the direction. Now, for theta,
He wrote it up and
you got 4, 5 point, 99. So I know the one after that's an 8. That's okay. Remember, you're
No,
just
it's a 6.
looking at the place directly behind it. So we would round this to 46.0, and you do want the 0.0, so you know that's a rounded number. And then you also have to put your bearings on that. So if it's less than 90, it's just going to be your north of east.
Can we write? Okay.
And then, yeah, if you wanted to write,
Should I write like NOE instead of? Save me a letter.
I mean, I would rather have you write it out like this, but, or you could also write this as north, and what would the degree be?
46.
44 degrees east, right? Because 46 plus 44 would be,
90.
yeah, would be 90, okay? Now, remember that the tangent comes from finding your theta, okay? So your tangent, you have your horizontal component, you have your vertical component. This is going to be your new vector. This is the jet plus the wind. And so the horizontal component is the 568.44. The vertical component is the 588.57. And we're using tangent because it's the opposite over the adjacent. Okay, now you have very special homework instructions tonight. Okay, so for your homework, I'm going to give you this worksheet. I want you to do all of your problems on this worksheet, and I will check it tomorrow. What am I going to do?
check it tomorrow.
What am I going to do?
Do it.
Okay, so I'm going to check this tomorrow. So if you look at the first two questions, you're going to need your notes because you're using information from example 3. If you forget them at home, where are the notes posted?
Online.
Yep, on the teacher page. Now you're also going to do 588, 63 through 65.
Are you gonna check those?
Okay? Yes, yeah. It's all of them. So there's going to be 5 questions total. Your homework will be worth 5 points. So each question is worth.
Do we still put it on here?
Okay, so we'll try it again. So 5 questions worth 5 points. Each question is worth.
20%.
Question is worth. Okay, 1 point. You are. Listen, please. Because I'm checking this tomorrow, I'm not going to post the answers until after I checked it in class, and then you'll put it on your homework log.
Please.
Okay.
Okay?
Please post them.